Hi guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on when you're watching this video. Welcome to my space once again. It's Maverick here, and in today's video we'll be learning how to design exactly what you can see on your screen. Alright, so without further ado, we'll be moving straight up to this design. But before we comment, I'll just give a rundown of what the concept about this design. Alright, so my client reached out to me. I call him my boss, alright, Taz Igor. So he said he wanted to do something. He showed me a sample of what he wanted to do, which I took look of. I took a look at it, and then it was. I knew that no, I can't do something like that for him. I needed to improve what he wanted to do. Alright, based on his perception, definitely he needs quality, and then what he wanted to do was that he had several courses which he wanted to display them. Wanted to display his courses, and then the 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 end result of what he wanted to get is to make persons to know more about how to get these courses and also learn more about the course. All right, so basically the design is a limited has a limited offer. It was meant for a limited amount of persons. So he sent me samples of what he wanted to do, which definitely had to rebrand some of his designs, his existing designs. Like this is sales funnel. What he sent me was not good, so I had to rebrand it. Alright. Also the DFY template, I had to rebrand it. Alright. So that of the salesman, I used like that. Out of the 5K sales funnel blueprints, I had to make use of it like that. So basically what I did here was just that I had to create book covers, 2 book covers. I had to mock them up, and after mocking them up, they were now what I used for this design. Alright, so this design is just a combination of several other designs I've done. So first of all, I'll show us how to do this design, and then I'll show us how to do the book covers, and then I'll show us how to do the mock-up. Alright, so there are several ways of doing mock-up, and there are different mock-up for different designs. So back to where we are. Alright, so this is what we'll be working at, and already I have my elements imported. Alright, so we get to hide them, and when we need them, we unhide them and make use of them. Alright, so this is not going to be a long or a lengthy design. Pardon me, I think the last design I did, which was so you get an idea, it's entered about 70 something minutes. Alright, that's if not 80 something minutes. Right, so I'm really going to make this brief and straight to the point. Also, it's going to be very pellucid for you to understand. So as I said earlier, this is just a simple design. So first off, let's start with our background. So I'm going to change the background. Alright, so what I used here was basically a gradient, and then the gradient was white and gold. Alright, white and gold. So the first one, just 2 layers basically. This one was white, while the second layer, okay, no, this was white. Let me just interchange them. Alright, so I think this was even what I used safe. This is what I used. Let me just see if the color code corresponds. So the color code is a bit deviating from this. The color code is DBCDCD. DBCDCD. So you can see almost the same thing, no difference, a slight difference rather. So I just adjusted this way. Yes. So basically this was what I used. So the next thing I did was my background. Let me start with my background now. So I made use of this background. Let me go to the front. Yes, so I made use of this background. Basically what I did was just to increase it in size and then centralize it. Let me send it to the back so you can see what we're working with. Alright, so after doing this, I literally had to reduce the opacity of this. Right, I wanted it to be very not really visible. Alright, so let's just leave that 17 is fair, 15 is fair. So let me do 15. So 15 was basically what I used, as you can see. And then the next thing we need to do is just to import our texts and then edit them. So the first thing we're going to have is I didn't even say that. We want to learn the simple process that want to learn the simple process that want to learn the simple process that alright, so one thing you need to know as a graphic designer is that beyond graphic design you need several other skills to actually do well with graphic design. You need several other skills. You need the skill of copywriting as a graphic designer. Yes, a graphic designer, you need the skill of a copywriter. So you need to learn copywriting. If you don't actually know copywriting, then just write this average sales professional. Also, as a graphic designer, you need the skill of sales. If you don't know how to sell, I really wonder what you are doing. All right, if you don't know how to sell, I don't think you can do much with graphic design. All right, so beyond graphic designing, it's nothing about graphic designing. If you know how to design, if you basically know how to design, like you are an expert at designing, but then you don't know how to sell your skill, definitely you're not going to make any money. All right, so the money is learning how to sell your skill. The money is in the business of your skill and not your skill itself. All right, so your skill is just a means. Learning how to sell your skill is the real deal. All right, so I said you need several skills. You need sales, you need marketing, you need branding, you need closing. Yes, you need closing, you need copywriting. All right, so there are several skills you need there to actually do well with your graphic design skill. So graphic design is just the basic. All right, beyond graphic design, you won't just say that, okay, I've learned graphic design and then I'm good to go. No, you need several other skills to be able to do well as a graphic designer. So let's edit this. We're going to write them used to generate massive amounts of side income. Used to generate massive amounts of side income. Used to generate massive amounts of side income. All right, so let me hide this. Let me pin it rather. All right, so we put this here. So what else? Hit the learn more button. As a graphic designer, also you need to understand the psychology of color. Hit the learn more button. You need to know what color is used for what. All right, so mostly you see that in most sales or in most flyers or in most design or even in this itself sales funnel landing pages, you see that whenever they want to take an action, there's a color that they mostly use. Why? Have you noticed? Check it out. Whenever they want to take an action, there's a color that they use, which is red. So what does red entails? Red simply, first confess serve. The use of red is simply it does something to your mind. It does something to your mind. All right, so red can mean urgency. Red can mean action. So the use of red in some designs is basically for you to take action. It's basically for you to get involved, mentally involved in what you are doing. So red triggers, first confess self. Red triggers your what's the name now? I'm trying to remember something. Red triggers your action button. Let's put that with this. Red, the use of red, it triggers your action button. All right. So than any other color. Imagine I use a yellow for this stuff. It will just look and pass. Okay, this is not really. It will not resonate with that part of your brain that is needed for you to take the action that we want to take. All right. So there are some colors that relate to some certain things. You really need to understand the use of color as a graphic designer. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, let's import a shape. a square and then modify it to become a rectangle. So here it is. So I'm going to change the color of this shape. So the color is a red color. I'm going to change it to red. Red. And make it more darker. A bit lighter. Alright, so I think I'm good to go with this. Yeah, I'm good to go with this. So basically the font used here, as you can see, I used the MTN Sans. So I'll just change the font basically to MTN Sans, and then the color is black. I use a black color. So the text, or the size of text I used here, I think this was size 22. Size 22. Yes, size 22. So let's centralize this, and then let's make it a bit bold. Let's make it bold. Yeah. So let's bring it down here. Bring it here, leave it there. So where is our text? Average sales professional. Bring this forward, and then we're going to change the color of this to white. Then the font is the same font. Yes, it's this font. So let's centralize this, and I think we need to reduce this. So let's reduce the size. 35 is okay. Alright, so move it upward a bit. Alright, still move it upward a bit. And bring it downwards a bit. So basically we need to adjust the size of this rectangle. Yeah, so this is fine. So for this, do the same thing. This is black, color black, font the same font, MTN Sans, regular, no, yeah, this. So I think we would have to increase this size a bit. Just increase it a bit, yeah, that's good. And then centralize this, move it upwards. Okay, bring it downwards a bit. Yeah, so here is where we are. So the next thing we need to do, let's duplicate this rectangle. Just duplicate it, color it black, enable color, make it black, then bring it downwards here, move it upwards a bit. It doesn't have to be too much. Alright, so this is our first come first serve. Bring it to the front and change the color to white. So the font also is MTN Sans. So we bring this down here, bring it down here. Okay, I think we use an exclamation mark here, not a full stop. First come first serve, exclamation mark. Alright, so let's leave this there, and then let's still okay, let's import a new shape and then reduce this, modify it to a rectangle. So what we need to do now, we want to make the edge curve, so just increase the radius. 15 is fine. So after that, what we need to do now is we have to change the color also to our red. This, so move it downwards a bit, position this downwards. Alright, so this is fair. Let's move it to the side a bit. fair enough. So hit the learn more button. Let's bring that to the front, over here to the front, and then the color would be white. The color here would be white. Change the font, same font and same sans, and then let's change the size. Let's make it a little big. Let's leave it this way. I'm making it 30. 30 is fine. Alright, so move it downwards, move it sideways. Let me move this a bit, adjust this a bit. Alright, adjust the shape a bit. Alright, so here we are. Here is where we are. Here's where we are. So the next thing we need to do now is now to work on our design, basically. So we've done the major chunk of what we need to do. So what we need to do now, let's import our table. Let's unhide our table. So this is our table. This is our table. So increase the size a bit. It's too large. Centralize it. Yeah, we got to centralize it, and then we got to bring it downwards a bit. Alright, I think this is fine. This is fine. So the concept of this table is that I don't just want the courses to be hanging on the air, although there's a way you will do it that it will not really look hanging on the air. But I had the concept of, okay, I want it to rest on a surface, so I just thought of a table, and then I downloaded a table, and here is where we are. The next thing we need to do is now to unhide our courses, basically. Unhide our courses, and make use of them. So these are our courses. So one of the resources task sent to me. Bring this to the front, reduce the size. Let me crop this so it doesn't disturb me too much. So just leave this here. So one of the resources is sent to me also. So this was good. I didn't have to rebrand it or repackage it or redesign it. So I left it this way. Yeah, a nice one. So the template is sent to me for this. I had to repackage it. Alright, so I did a different design, and then this was basically mock-up. So to mock this up is simple. I'll be showing us that on one of the videos. Just hang on. Right, so basically other mock-ups I'll be showing to us. So this was done by my boss also, Paul Akinyola. Alright, you can see how crazy the design is. So sweet. Alright, so bring this to the front. I just love his designs. Paul designs, they are crazy, very, very thoughtful and creative, and I think that's where I'm drawing inspiration from, my creative ability. Okay, so this also I had to repackage this design. Alright, so I had to redesign it and then do the mock-up also, as you can see. So what we need to do is just to reduce the size of all of these and try to place them on top of this table. Reduce the sizes and place them on top of the table. So let me reduce the size of this. Everything has to contain. They have to contain. Right, so we'll find a way to fit them in. We have to find a way to fit them in. Let me reduce the size of this a bit. Okay, move it sideways. move this side is also. Let me increase this size. I want to make sure it's the same size as the other one. Yeah, fair. So bring this together. Alright. So what I just need to do, mark the two and centralize them. I'll use this template to serve for others. So centralize them. Okay. So it's good now. So the next thing we need to do, just to place this and this in front of this. So let me reduce the size of this. Bring this forward. Reduce the size. So place this somewhere here. Yeah, place this somewhere here. Reduce the size of it. Place this somewhere here. It needs to stand on its own. And this, reduce the size. Place this, move to the front. Reduce the size. Place this somewhere here as well. Yes. So this was it. So let me adjust the sizing. Bring it a bit closer to the other guy. Yes. Then salesman, bring it a bit closer to the other guy. So one thing about design is that you have to make your design realistic. You have to make your design very, very, very realistic. Now, if you take a look at this design, just look at the bottom of the courses, of the ebook covers, the fonts. You will see that it's not really looking natural. It's not really looking what's the name, realistic. All right, so what we need to do now, we have to make sure that we have to present it in such a way that it is resting on the table. We have to present this in such a way that it's resting on the table. And how do we achieve this? We just simply add shadows to them. So enable the shadows, reduce the blur. So we just need them our offsets Y to make it come down a bit. So you can see now it looks like it's now resting on the table. Yeah, so that's just what we need to do. So do the second one. Apply shadow to it. We don't need your blur. Just increase offset Y by 1 or 2. Okay, then you can now add a faint blur, just 1. So let me do so again to this salesman. Increase the blur by 1. Increase the offset by 1 also. Alright, it's not looking realistic. At least it's resting on something. When you put something on top of a surface, if you take a look closely, you can try it now. Just put something on top of a surface, take a look at it closely, you would see the shadow effect applied. You see the shadow effect that's been applied to it. So you draw concepts from both real life situation and try to apply them to your designs. Alright, so that's part of what we do. Graphic design is beyond graphic design. Alright, you need to make your design realistic as possible. Alright. So compared to how they were before and how it is now, how you see it, it's much more realistic. Alright, it's now look like, okay, yes, it's definitely look on top of a surface. So I'm not comfortable with this shadow that this stuff is casting here. So I just need to erase this. Go to my eraser and erase this shadow that has been casted here. I'm really not comfortable with it. It's disturbing me. So I just need to clean it. Clean the guy. Clean the guy. Yeah. Better now. That's not disturb me. Alright. So the next thing we need to do is just to work on this. This basically. We will just send this to the back. Place this somewhere behind. We are going to reduce this. Place this somewhere behind where it's visible. Reduce this. No. Let's hide pin other items so they don't disturb us. So reduce this a bit. Let's increase, move it upwards a bit. Yeah, yeah. So this is fair. So I think we from here you can see one more design. There's one more resources that was sent here. I didn't import that. Let me quickly do that. So I'll just import it and then we are done with the design. So it's a simple design. It's not very difficult. It's something you can do. You can also go creative about it. Add your unique touch. All right, I know everyone has their own uniqueness, so add your own unique touch to it and let's see what we've got. All right, so here it is. I'll just crop this out. I don't need all this background, although I also need to erase them. So go to eraser, erase color. To an extent they've been erased, so increase the tolerance. Better now. All right, so I just reduce the size of this and then place it somewhere here. Place it somewhere here. So move it upward, move this upwards, and then send to the back of this guy. Yes, so this is fair enough. Let me move it upward a bit. So this is fair enough. So I would move this top here. I'll move them upward so be able to put that effect you can see on top. So I'll move all of them upward. Where are they? Want to learn used to average sales, which is this. Okay, here it is. So mark them and move them upwards. So it's fair now. So I think we are good to go. So the next we need to do, let's unhide this element, this guy here. Bring to the front, rotate it, reduce the size drastically. So this is fair enough. Change the color. We're going to make use of red. All right, so let's make it a lighter red. All right, so make it light. Yes, so centralize this guy, still reduce this guy, centralize it again and bring it downwards. All right, so basically we are good to go with this design. All right, so I think I would need to touch my background. This one I need to adjust my color filters. It's looking dull to me. I need to adjust something in my color filter. Okay. Just play around your stuff. All right, you can play around it to get something interesting. And so I don't want it to look dull. It's looking dull to me. That's why I want to make it lively. I can relate with it. So I think I'm okay with this now. It's better than it were before. As you can see, it's better. How much better? All right, so the next thing we need to do is to bring in money, unhide the money loves me. Money loves me in no small way. They come to me massively. All right, so this is the part we're going to use. We're going to use two parts of this. All right, so this is the first part here, this is the second part here. So all we need to do is duplicate it and then crop out the parts we need, and then the parts that cannot be cropped out, so we go over to erase them. So this is the first part, bring it here, and this is the second part. Let's also crop it out. Okay. All right, so make sure you don't affect the edge. So just go over to your eraser and erase the part that doesn't want to let you be. Erase the part that doesn't want to let you be. This guy disturbing me over here. This guy also, and this guy. These are the guys disturbing me. Yeah, I'm good to go now. For this guy over here, do the same thing for this guy. Go and erase the guys disturbing him. Erase them. You are disturbing me. Alright, so here is where we are. So basically I'm just going to work on this my color filter to make it sharp. I want to make it sharp. It's looking faint. Make it sharp. Where is it? Okay, let me leave it at 5. Leave this at 10. Sorry, I'm gonna pick this call. Hello? Alright, sorry for the interruption. So we continue immediately. Alright, so we were adjusting this guy here this morning. Alright, so we're trying to adjust it a bit. So let's make it 60. 60, yes. So that's fine. 60 minus 7. Alright, so let's reduce the size. It's looking not, it's not really looking sharp. Let me see. Okay, let's leave it at this 10 and 15. 10, 15 minus 7. 10, 15 minus 7. Alright, so reduce this and place this somewhere here. We have floating money. Place this somewhere here. Alright, so we can bring this. Let's just send this to the back. So, or bring this to the front. Bring this forward. Then bring the money icon also forward. The money right up. This is the lemon button forward. Bring it forward. So here is where we are. So you can see this sharp line showing here by the side of that money. We need to erase it. Yeah, we need to erase it. That sharp line. Alright, so we need to erase it. Let's go to eraser. Now blur, increase your blurriness. Yeah, increase this. So let's just work with this. We need to blur out this part. Erase this part so it does not really have an acute. Alright, so this is better. So let's do the same thing here also. Play with our color filter. I think this was 10, right? This was 10. This was 15. This was what? Negative 7. Negative plus 7. No, negative 7. Alright, so here is where we are. So the same thing, we just need to reduce the size and place here. Reduce the size and place here. So you can send it now to the back of this money, to the back of the book, or you can choose to leave it the way it is. So you can either send it to the back of the book or choose to leave it the way it is. So this wraps up our video. So I'm sure you've been able to learn one or two, both theoretically, both practically, and in all wise. Alright, so till we meet again in our next video, stay jiggy, stay creative. Romans 1.